early August, President Trump issued executive orders against two Chinese-owned social media apps, TikTok and WeChat.
President Trump is barring Americans from any transactions with ByteDance, which owns TikTok, and any WeChat-related transactions with its owner, Tencent.
The president is citing the International Emergency Economic Powers Act as the legal authority. This is the first time the administration invoked this act against a global technology company.
A narrow ban would probably still remove TikTok and WeChat from US app stores. A broader ban would also bar Americans from using apps they had already downloaded. US companies operating in China could be exempt. The broadest rule would affect Tencent's activities beyond WeChat. It might have to sell its stakes in US businesses like Tesla.
It's declared these two apps have posed national security threats to the United States, but there is no clear clarification or evidence supporting this claim. So people here in China are more convinced that this is against all the companies that have connections with China.
The stated purpose is fear that China's government could pressure TikTok and WeChat into sharing private data, censoring content, or spreading disinformation. And these are bipartisan concerns.
Not only TikTok and WeChat, most apps with similar functions are based on the practice of data collection. So there have been long-distance concerns about the safety of information, such as the privacy of citizens, about whether the information can be kept well, whether they can be relevant to national security, or whether they can be transmitted to other actors. In this case, is Chinese government.
But President Trump also has political reasons to demonize China in an election year.
The orders will get effective in mid-September, less than 2 months before the election. So people are wondering whether this is just another election campaign effort to get more votes by showing its tough attitudes towards China. In other words, is this move being driven by the domestic political demands other than other factors?
And he probably sees the bans as leverage for future trade talks.
People are also convinced that this move is one of the efforts to suppress the development of Chinese companies as competitors and suppress the rise of China as a potential technology giant.
There are also hawks who want a large-scale decoupling of the US and Chinese economies, especially in tech. They may intend these bans to further poison relations and create unstoppable momentum for decoupling.
There are reasonable national security concerns, but that doesn't mean the current way of using administrative power is the best approach to address these concerns.
Singling out a few high-profile Chinese companies leaves many questions unanswered, like how these same privacy concerns might apply to other Chinese companies, or to non-Chinese foreign companies, or even to US companies.
We firstly need to find out a way to categorize all these concerns and find out which are the ones critical to national security. And the governments can take any measures they think necessary to address these concerns. But regarding other concerns, it might be more appropriate and more effective if we can also include actors like technical experts, business sectors, and also international organizations to discuss together the rules that can be obeyed and implemented in this digital domain.
What the US really needs is a coherent, long-term vision for its technology future, including how to manage both threats and opportunities from China, as well as from other countries. some amount of decoupling is necessary. But the US should also designate safe harbors where commerce can continue. Meanwhile, it must develop international coalitions to promote its tech vision and begin to re-energize America's own innovation ecosystem.
And also we have to remember that China and US are the two big powers in the digital domain, and a large-scale decoupling between them will not only influence these two countries, but also will influence the internet at the global stage, will influence all the other countries that are connected via internet. So a multilateral approach will be more effective than just using unilateral efforts.